Debt is like a serpent. When it hisses at you, it means it seduces you. It sucks the very life out of you. It stops your dreams from coming to pass, and debt is the enemy to your money.
From coast to coast and around the world, you have the power to prosper. Welcome to The Power to Prosper with your host, Dr. H. Michael Chitwood. Dr. H. Michael Chitwood is one of the influential speakers of our time.
God is opening doors for those who can see. My question to you is, can you really see what God has for you?
Broadcasting live around the world, Dr. H. Michael Chitwood is a powerful, dynamic speaker who has helped thousands prosper according to God's Word.
You are perfect for your purpose. See, no one can take your place and no one can do what you're called to do. There is no substitute for you. You have been pre-planned for purpose.
Discover how you can prosper in every area of your life: finances, family, your job, your faith, health, and your entire life. Get ready for transformative insights, life-changing principles, and practical wisdom to unlock your full potential.
God loves to use ordinary people to do extraordinary things in this world.
Join us now and experience the power of prosperity with Dr. H. Michael Chitwood. Broadcasting live, this is The Power to Prosper.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. H. Michael Chitwood, and we're so excited about the show today. Listen, I'm going to change your life today on the Power to Prosper show. Welcome to the Power to Prosper show today. It's going to be a great show today. We also have Ashley Rogers with us.
Hello, hello.
And she's going to be asking some questions and contributing a lot of information. By the way, you've already been out there with the audience, and they just absolutely love you. I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
They probably love you more than they love me. So we're excited about the show today. It's going to be great.
Yes, they're very excited about what we're going to be talking about. So why don't you tell everyone what the topic is today?
Well, we're going to be talking today, is money your friend or is money your enemy? That's a big question.
Fingers crossed friend, because that sounds way better. But what do you think? Is it friend, enemy?
Well, I've got to ask you a question first. Do you want the bad news first or do you want the good news first? That's up to you.
Okay, well, let's take the bad news first.
Well, money can be your friend or it can be your enemy. Money becomes your enemy when you lose the battle with one thing, and that's a word called debt. D-E-B-T. A four-letter word, by the way. That's horrible. Debt is like a serpent. When it hisses at you, it means it seduces you. It sucks the very life out of you. It stops your dreams from coming to pass, and debt is the enemy to your money.
Well, that makes me really sad. I hope that I don't have to be in a lot of debt in the future, but I know that there's a lot of people in the country that are living in debt. Yeah. And we were talking about that earlier. It's a credit card debt is at an all-time high right now, right?
All-time high. The statistics show that right now, and I bet you don't know this,
I don't.
that the average Americans have absolutely a mountain credit card full of debt. And listen to this, $1.1 trillion. That's with a T, not with a B, but with a T. And the average credit card interest rate now is 24.9%. You know what the finance charge, the interest rate is 24.9%. So if you fall into a credit card debt, the interest will eat your budget up. So let me give you an example of this, by the way, so you can see. If you owe $5,000 on your credit card right now, if you owe it right now on your credit card, and you're paying an interest rate or finance charge of 24.9%, and you're just making the minimum payment, listen to this, it's going to take you 19 years to pay off $5,000 at the minimum payment at 24.9% interest. Before long, your money is going to be working against you instead of for you. And those of you that's watching and listening today, you need to know that money can be enemy to you, and anything that's against you, by the way, is certainly not for you. So your enemy is not for you, it is against you, and debt is against you.
Well, that sounds really scary. But I know that you, being the financial expert that you are, you can tell us all how money can become our friend. So how do we stop money from being our enemy?
There's 4 words. And my latest book that will be coming out very soon is called Be Done with Debt. You need to be done with debt. In fact, you need to cut it off. In fact, I tell you what, some of you out there today, you need to cut it up. And what that means is you need to have plastic surgery. That means you take a pair of scissors and cut up those credit cards. Now, I know you have to have credit cards. I have credit cards. I use credit cards. But my credit card that I use for travel is paid off every month. So cut it up. They show that Americans have 21 credit cards. They just go from this card to that card, that card. And the thing about cell phones these days, when your credit card gets so full and your creditors start calling you, they just go down to the cell phone store, get a new cell phone with a new number, and now your creditor can't even hardly find you. So yes, money can become your friend. If you invest properly and invest right, you can start making money, earning interest instead of paying interest. This causes our money to increase when you earn interest instead of paying interest. So money also can be a very close friend to you and build a very successful business, by the way, if you watch what you're doing. Money will multiply for you if you treat it like a friend. Money can be your friend. Treat it like a friend. Whether what you attract is going to come to you. If you don't, money will leave your life, and it leaves your life for all this debt and interest charge. You can take care of your friends. You can take care of your money. Listen, keep your friend close and keep your enemies far away.
So we like interest that makes us money. We do not like interest that makes us lose money.
That's absolutely correct. Money is the friend that builds your dream life. Money is a dream generator. If money is going to be your friend, you must aim at this. What's that mean? Accumulate it, invest it, and master it. That's good. Master it. Master money.
Wow. Well, this has been a mind-blowing segment. I hope everyone out there that has too many credit cards is pulling out their scissors right now, clipping them up. Stop using them, especially with that high interest rate. We don't like that. So thank you so much for all of your wisdom. Yeah, it's way too high. But up next, we're going to have some special guests. So stay tuned for Seen and Unseen.
Hello, my name is Dr. Shannon Cook, and I want to tell you how Dr. Michael Chitwood, America's #1 wealth coach, has changed my life. I tell you, the revelation knowledge and the practical knowledge together has caused me to go to a new dimension of finances.
Because I knew with Dr. Chitwood's teaching to believe in myself and to push myself. And a coach is different than a friend. A coach tells you to do stuff that's difficult, but you just have to do it. And that's what I enjoy about Dr. Chitwood.
I mean, it's unfounded. I've never met anyone with such wisdom. So Dr. Chitwood, he teaches the abundant life. This is the guy to take me to the place where I need to be in life.
Dr. Michael Chitwood is America's #1 wealth coach. But more than anything else, I love what his selflessness that he gives to other people. And it's endless. And he truly doesn't want anybody to suffer.
We have went to another dimension as far as wealth and prosperity because of the teaching of Dr. H. Michael Chitwood.
Dr. Chitwood has a very powerful personality, and that's what you want in a coach. You want somebody that's gonna push you, guide you, and tell you never to give up.
Oh my God, this year's Wealth Conference is absolutely amazing. I completed the first day yesterday. I couldn't even sleep last night.
Well, I want to welcome you back. I want to welcome you back, by the way, to the Power to Prosper show. Hey, listen, we're so grateful to have one of the regulars here on the television program here, of course, Dr. Shannon Cook. I'm not even going to read anything about you because they know about you because you're a regular on the show, so why do I need to read it? But we also have with us a dear friend of mine, Dr. Calvin Tibbs, is the pastor of Kingdom Dominion Church in Villa Rica, Georgia. You know, that's where they first discovered gold, I think. Is that true?
That's true.
They first discovered gold there. He's been the co-host of 2 daily radio broadcasts. Not only is he an incredible preacher and speaker, but he's also an author and certified purpose coach. Man, that's important to be a purpose coach there. We're so excited that you could be with us today. You have a beautiful wife, Kimberly. Be sure you tell her I said hello. We have a few questions right here that we want to pose to you and see what you think about this. There's so many people watching us around the world right now. I mean, we're in every country. We're all over the world. But they have not been able to unleash that true potential that's inside of them. I believe everybody has potential. and they haven't been able to release that, to do it, to execute on it. I want you to share some of your thoughts that you've experienced over the years on why and how people can unleash that potential.
One of the ways, Dr. Chitwood, that they can release that potential is get in touch with their purpose. If you don't have purpose, potential is going to lag. If lagging potential gets to the altar, somebody's going to marry the wrong person. You don't want to marry potential. You want to marry somebody in purpose.
That's good.
You don't want to marry potential. You want to marry somebody that's in potential. When I think of potential, by the way, I think about what can be possible with a person, what can be done, what can you achieve. So what do you think about what can a person achieve, what can they do, how can they be successful? Dr. Cook, you've experienced this a lot with the travel with Chitwood and our millionaire boot camps. You've been all over the world with us. So what do you think about how do we do that?
Well, I think one of the ways that people maximize their potential is by having a coach or having somebody that will put pressure on you.
Yeah,
you know, in order for a diamond to shine, there has to be some rough knocked off. So you have a rough coach sometime that will come to you and give you the principles that will catapult you into your purpose. And your purpose, when you start operating that purpose, potential is going to explode.
Yeah, I've seen so many people that haven't been able to unlock that potential. You know it's there. Now, on the other hand, we've seen a lot of people that had potential that we knew, and we could see them progress a little bit at a time. Like Jeff, for example, 3.5 years, now he's a multi-millionaire. We talked about from Arkansas yesterday, one of our proteges in the Millionaire Boot Camp. So I think it's very important. And this is potential time right now.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure that you tell the people out there, don't marry potential. You have to marry purpose.
Oh my goodness, no. And you know, this is really important, especially in my generation. If they would just put in the work and not be entitled to everything, I think that would be a little bit better. I mean, obviously everybody has potential, but it's if you activate it and if you use it and if you actually put the work in for it. And so many people just want it to be handed to them.
You know, America in general, and maybe in other countries, they have an entitlement mentality. It seems like that they have a mama and daddy entitlement. You know, I know some people that have sons and daughters that's 50 years of age and still living in the basement bedroom, you know, at 50 years of age. I think that's a little bit too old to be living with mama and daddy, you know.
Absolutely.
And he hasn't found the purpose to marry yet, and maybe she will, and he'll leave the house. But I believe having a good mentor or coach in your life is somebody that can push you and really drive you to the next level. You're accountable, and it's you know, the way I would say it like this, it's impossible for you to do something if you don't move toward doing something. It just you need to unlock your fullest potential. There would be no way at all that Michael Jordan would be anything without his mother. Smith or Phil Jackson, any of these great people, they saw their potential in these men, and they brought that potential out. So I think you see that too.
Yes, sir. We can also go to Tom Brady. Tom Brady, you know, you like Tom Brady. You don't like my quarterback, but you like Tom Brady. But he was drafted in the 7th round. No, he was one of the last draft picks. But look, he's the greatest football player and quarterback of all time. That's what they say. They call him the GOAT now. Greatest of all time. But they saw his potential.
Well, I think he's the greatest and still the greatest. You don't. You think that your guy is, but I believe that Tom Brady is the greatest football quarterback that's ever lived. I mean, how many Super Bowls?
7.
So I'd say that you got a little ways to go. Hey, listen, we're excited about what's coming up. Tell us about it.
Well, up next is your favorite Power Thoughts.
Power.
I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. The sun is shining down.
Dr. Chitwood, you can tell that his spirit when we were following him on Periscope, he made us feel like family. And one thing about family, I want to be around that family.
What is that gap between your dream and your reality? Listen, success or failure, there's gaps in between there. And what it takes is simply this. Number one is careful planning. You never do anything unless you plan it out. That's even written in my favorite book that talks about you need to write this thing down. We need to get it all on paper and see what it is. If you do that, you're going to be able to establish your goals. Number 2, the goals of your life. You have to write these things down. You have to do strategic planning. You have to make sure that you have your goals written down. You need to make sure that you understand without a doubt that there's a dream inside of you. When God made you and created you, He put a dream inside you, and it's up to you to get that dream out, to make it come into existence. And that's what we're going to do.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here now with Power Thoughts, one of Dr. Chitwood's favorites. So why don't you go ahead and start us off with Power Thought number 1?
Well, thank you so much for letting me do my favorite segment. These Power Thoughts come out of all of the books that I've written. 140 books. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
I've written 140 books. Most of them deal with finance. But here we have a Power Thought number 1. This is a good one. It's not how much money you make, but it's how much money you keep. What do you think about that?
Well, that's called wealth preservation. That is true. Wealth preservation, you know, so when people make the money, they have to be a good steward over it. They have to know how to invest it and cause their money to grow and not cause their money to go.
Yeah, that's good. Cause it to grow, not cause it to go, you know.
Yeah.
And at chitwood.com, you can see our Millionaire Boot Camp schedule for all of the United States. So you can go to the millionairedrchitwood.com, look at our schedule. You need a wealth coach in your life.
Yes.
You really do. If you're going to have money and wealth and provide good things for your family and have a good life here, you can have an abundant life here, but you got to do something about it, get wisdom and knowledge. Power thought number 2. To be unforgotten, and I want to ask you this, Dr. Timms, to be unforgotten, you must do something unforgettable. What in the world does that mean? I wrote that, by the way, but I'm not sure I know what it means.
People forget folks who don't do anything for them. It's only when people do something powerful that you remember. An inheritance, you remember. No inheritance, you forget.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So if you leave your son and daughter something after you've gone on to heaven, they're going to remember that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But if you don't leave them something, they're going to remember that too.
Yes, sir.
It won't be good memories. It won't
It'll be a bad memory.
Yeah. Power thought number 3 coming up, and that's the last one that we have. You don't have a money problem. And I believe this is really a fact. You don't have a money problem, but you do have a wisdom problem. Dr. Cook, let's toss that over to him. You want to?
Oh, yeah. He's the expert.
Wisdom is the principal thing. So without wisdom, you won't be able to handle money, or you won't be able to create other streams of income, because wisdom is the root to the fruit to wealth, success, and happiness.
Dr. Timms.
I agree with that 100%. Solomon knew, although he didn't do quite well with the women, he had 7,000 wives and 300 concubines, but he managed his money well.
Well, you know, at least he had something going for him.
He had something working.
Hey, listen, you need a wealth coach. And by the way, someone asked me this just a few days ago. If you are a ministry and you're setting up your 501c3, you need to contact Chitwood and Chitwood. We've been doing it for 100 years, have over 8,000 churches and nonprofit ministries that we represent, and we would love to represent you and make sure that your house of worship's in order. One reason, because God cannot bless a mess.
You can't bless a
And
mess.
you just said that Solomon managed his money good.
Yes, sir.
So in order to have money, you have to have a way to manage and control your money. So if you need some help with your nonprofit corporations, your 501c3, and by the way, they need to get it while they can, because they're taking them slowly away from nonprofits and churches. So you need to get set up quick.
Well, having
Also,
a coach is something I feel like is normal. I mean, you need a personal trainer when you're wanting to work out. You need a nutrition coach.
Yeah.
You get into sports, you need a coach. It only makes sense that you would need a financial coach.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like they teach that in school. I know we didn't learn anything in school. I'm learning algebra that I'm never going to use instead of learning basic financial skills.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's true. And, you know, even in college, they don't even teach you. Said on one of the shows, somebody said, well, they don't even teach you how to reconcile a bank account, how to balance your checkbook these days to make sure that everything's on. So we're excited about the Power Thoughts section, because they all come from things that we've written and things that have helped people throughout their entire life. So we're excited about it.
I love it. Well, up next, we have Common Sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Dr. Chitwood, you know, he sparked a fire in us whenever we met him last fall. And that started just, you know, an amazing strive to continue to follow the dream and goal that God gave us years and years ago, but we never knew how to go about doing it. And then you hear Dr. Chitwood in the background saying, "You can do this. Let's work together and let's achieve your dream." And you need someone on your side like him that will be that for you person and not against you. And he really does have a very passionate love to see your success story succeed. And he wants to make sure that
Call Michael Chitwood. Call his ministry today. Let him help you. Let him bring the years of experience to your church and to you personally. Let me add this about your church. I'm amazed at how many churches are not in compliance. You know, I go somewhere and speak, and I have to call and ask them for a 1099 so that I can keep my own books in order. You better be careful and make sure that not only your personal taxes, but your church situation's in line. Dr. Chitwood has all the experts, all the gifts, and all the material and all the information to make sure everything in your church is in order. And by the way, there are a few other ministries and accountants that do this kind of work, but I promise you they won't do it at the cost effectiveness that Chitwood will. So let me encourage you right now to do what Ron Phillips wishes he'd done 25 years ago. Call Michael Chitwood. Call him today.
We are back with Common Sense, where our viewers send in text messages asking us some questions. Yeah. So let's start with our first one. Cindy from Melbourne, Florida says, "My grandfather always says there are no free lunches." What does that even mean?
Well, I'll tell you, it means that you have to work for what you want. You don't get anything free. You have to have a work ethic. You have to make sure that you have some discipline in your life when it comes to working and earning. They go hand in hand. You work, you earn. And I believe that people that work can earn, and you can earn more, and you can be very successful at what you want to do in life. If you work, you'll earn.
Well, all right. That summed that up pretty quickly, didn't it? Okay, Alex from Memphis, Tennessee, right down the road from us pretty much, asks, did Jesus ever accept money from wicked people? Wow. This is a very interesting question.
Very interesting question. Well, first of all, he did take money or receive money from wicked people. Zacchaeus. The guy that climbed that tree.
The sycamore tree.
You were singing that,
the
that
Sunday
song
school
this morning, the Sunday school song this morning. She even reminded me he climbed a sycamore tree.
Yep.
You know? So he climbed up in a tree, but he was not saved when he climbed up in that tree. He was a wicked man. He had a lot of money, but he was a wicked man. And when he invited to the house, he went to the house, then he connected with Jesus.
Yes.
So he did receive money. The Bible says that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just.
Yes.
And we need money to do what we do around the world, by the way. So it's important that you know. By the way, there's been no proof either way that I could find, and maybe you could say something about this. Can't find anywhere where that the Queen of Sheba was wicked or not. I know she was a publican, but was she a good person? How do you know?
Well, back in that day, they measured it based upon whether you were a Jew or not. You were not a Jew, so God wasn't really talking to you if you weren't a Jew. But when she came to Solomon, all of a sudden, the glory of God with his wisdom and the money, it showed right then, money transfers through righteousness.
Yeah.
And that was the plan that God has for all of us.
That's good. What do you think?
I'd say the same thing, that is true, because the Queen of Sheba, she knew something about sowing. She knew something about honor. She knew something about the protocol to prosperity. So that's why she went to Solomon to get wisdom, which is the principal thing.
That's right.
That's good.
All right. Well, Lisa from Utah asks, is every dream really attainable?
I'll tell you what, that is something that I believe with all of my heart. I believe that whatever dream, and I've seen this all over the world, where that people had a dream to do something, and even in my own thought, I said, you know what, I'm not sure that will work, but I'm not going to tell them that. I'm going to tell them that it's great. You can do that.
Yes.
You can accomplish that.
Yes.
And the next thing you know, we start hearing reports like the lady from your city,
Yes.
Louisville, Kentucky. I mean, when she developed that thing for pets was just
Oh, my
incredible.
goodness. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that she did because her husband had gone with somebody else. And you know, some of you ladies need to realize you need to make sure that you're financially independent because you never know what could happen. So
That's
yes,
right.
every dream that you have is obtainable. Listen, for those of you that are watching right now, we have changed your life tremendously today.
Yes.
By these power thoughts.
Yeah.
By these text messages, we want you to know that every dream is obtainable. You can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Anything the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve it.
Yes.
And I believe that.
Yes.
And I know all of us
Yes.
on the white couch up here, we believe that too.
Yes.
Also, you have to remember that you need to get a wealth coach in your life. You got a great spiritual coach, but you need a wealth coach. Those of you that want to attend any of our financial seminars around the world, you can go to drchitwood.com. Look us up. Take a look at the material, all the financial. You need to increase your library with things that will help you, not
Yes.
the National Enquirer,
That's
not
right.
some of these People magazines and
That's
things
right.
like that, talking
Yes.
about this and that. That's not going to build you up. It's just good gossip news. But this is factual information that you need in your library so that you
Yes.
can change your thinking, change your understanding, and you'll get wisdom.
Yes.
Also, by the way, I'm really excited about this because people keep asking, and that is if you want to set up your ministry or make sure that your ministry is in order, I'll tell you what they really need. They need a compliance audit. We've done
Yes.
one for you 30 years ago. We've done
Yes.
one for Dr. Tibbs. And so if you want to make sure that your house of worship's in order, you need to have someone anointed to do that. Our firm, Chitwood & Chitwood, we are anointed to help you with your
right.
finances in your church or your nonprofit ministry.
Yes.
You need to reach out to us. I really believe that, don't
Yes.
you?
Yes, yes, sir.
I think it's
And
important.
those audits
Yes,
are
sir.
important, Dr. Chitwood, because as the nonprofits begin to go get grants or to go for monies that are out there, that first thing they want to go to is the financial records. So having audited records are very important.
That's very important. That's very important. So we've had a great show today. I've really enjoyed the show today, haven't you?
Yeah, a lot of wisdom being
Yeah, a lot of
instilled
wisdom.
upon our viewers that they
As you
need.
said yesterday, 100 years.
100 years of wisdom. But now, we have Dr. Tibbs and Dr. Cook, so we're adding even more years of wisdom.
Wisdom
Come
upon
on.
wisdom upon wisdom.
Why would you pass up on all of that free wisdom and knowledge?
Hey, listen, we are so glad that you have joined the Power to Prosper show. By the way, share this with your friends. Let your friends know about us. Go to our Facebook, go to Twitter, and all the things that we're on, and like us. Make a comment there. Let us know that you. And by the way, if you have something you want us to talk about, we're glad to talk about that. So, until next time, on behalf of Ashley Rogers and on behalf of Dr. H. Michael Chitwood, Dr. Shannon Cook, and Dr. Calvin Tibbs, we'll look forward to seeing you on the next Power to Prosper show. I'll see you then.
Thanks for watching The Power to Prosper. Contact us at vbntv.org and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/vbnTVORG. And be sure to join us next time on The Power to Prosper.